Hi, Blake. Hi, I'm doing a live stream right now. Do you mind talking with me real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
You can leave the umbrella on. It's hot out here. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is a real casual one. This is a
All right.
live stream going on my Facebook, Twitter, all that. I'm here with Haps News right now. So
Okay.
I've seen you before at Trump rallies. Why are you so passionate?
Um, well, I just think that this is not a usual election. I mean, most people don't even know this, but I didn't vote for President Trump in 2016. 2016, I wasn't even a registered voter. And up until that time, basically, my viewpoint of the Republican and Democrat parties were really that they were just two sides of the same coin. You weren't getting much variance between them. There were a few minor differences about how they might decide to go about implementing policy, but for the most part, they were pretty much the same. And in 2016, I didn't want Hillary to win. I definitely wanted President Trump to win. But being in California and being a conservative, I wasn't registered. I had taken myself out of basically voluntarily disenfranchised myself. And, I really thought that what would happen is Trump would get in office. He would probably be borderline ineffective and not be able to do the things he was promising, and that we would, as a nation, have to reevaluate how we selected our candidates for political office. But then in the third day he was in office, he just got rid of the Trans-Pacific Partnership with the stroke of a pen, which is something I was deeply against. And then the next day, he took us out of the Paris Climate Accord, which, again, was something I was deeply against. And that's when I started supporting the president. That's when I really woke up and said, hey, this is different this time. He's really doing what he said he was going to do. And, when you look into those two things, the Trans-Pacific Partnership and especially the Paris Climate Accord, those were both agreements that were going to hurt the United States economically at the expense of transferring our wealth to other nations around the world. I think actually Pence, I think he mentioned in the debate last night that even though we're not part of the Paris Climate Accord, that we're meeting the goals that were set for us in that agreement. So we're meeting them anyways through innovation. It's just that we don't have to be spending, billions of dollars of taxes, of carbon taxes to the third world. And one of the things about that was just, it was horrible that India and China were still going to be able to pollute at their previous levels. So originally, I was basically supported Trump for economic reasons, for putting America first in being the core guiding principle of his administration. And when I saw that happening in real time right away, that's when I started really paying more attention, and really following the campaign and seeing all the things that they were doing. And, overlooked that nobody really talks about much is just the incredible effect that the deregulation had on American business following his inauguration. And even just the reduction in business taxes that let companies that they had done this inversion where they have their headquarters overseas, and they were able to bring all the money that they had stored in their overseas headquarters back into America. I think it was a 15% rate. And they were able to reshore all of that money and use that to fund the economy. And just he's had just such a phenomenal string of successes, succeeded beyond my wildest dreams what I thought he would be able to do as a politician. And that's why I'm out here, and that's why I'm such a visible supporter. And I think it's so important for people who support the president, who are used to saying we're the silent majority. We don't need to be out there and be visible. It's extremely important for us from now until November to be out there, to be visible, and to be loud, and to not be silent anymore, and to let people know that we support the president, and to let them know why. And it's not just at rallies like this where you need to come out. You can just do it wherever you live, on a street corner, with a group of friends. Wear a hat, wear a shirt. Somebody asks you about why you support the president. Tell them what are the reasons that you support him and when you came to support him. And that type of relation with people in your community is extremely effective. Extremely effective.
I see. Are you not concerned about climate change? Trump has gutted a lot of EPA regulations, stuff like that. So can you talk about that?
Sure. All right. So in terms of climate change, I think we all agree that the climate is changing. The question is, how much of it is due to man-made influences. And then even if you could isolate how much is due to man-made influences, then you have to see what can we do to change course, what adjustments can we make to our current industrial structure that are going to have a beneficial effect. And that's the most difficult part. Do you really gut the entire economy of America in order to reduce emissions? Now, I think that we're doing a good job of reducing emissions as it is through innovation. I don't necessarily think it's the wisest move for us to invest. Let's just take the example on the table of the Green New Deal and its projected costs. With whatever they are, I believe they're too expensive for the benefits because you're not getting the rest of the world to do it. And I think we need to pay attention to it, but I also think that we should be looking at other things besides where our powers come. We should be looking from things that actively sequester carbon from the atmosphere. There's some really exciting technologies that are coming in that are basically just taking carbon out of the atmosphere and pelletizing it so that it can be either buried or just removed from the cycle. I think that there are solutions that are out there, and a knee-jerk total shift to the left of America's economy is not the right solution. So while I believe that there is climate change, and I believe that mankind's influence has, of course, contributed something to it, I don't necessarily think that it can be rectified by changes in our industrial policy over the course of the next 10 or 15 years.
I see. How's the economy doing now, thanks to Trump's leadership on COVID issues?
I think the economy is doing excellent because of his leadership. Had we shut down the economy in its entirety, as several countries did in Europe, we'd be in much worse shape. I mean, we're not in great shape right now, but we're not doing badly. I think that there's a lot of talk about the V-shaped recovery. I definitely believe that's what we're observing, and I think that if it weren't for the guidance on how to keep the economy open, if we had just relied on governors and mayors and municipalities and they had shut everything down, we'd be in horrible shape. And I think that's kind of a natural reaction for governors and mayors. They don't want to be the politicians who are later taking the blame for anything bad that happens. So I think their tendency is to overreact. I think that they're overly cautious. I'm from California. My governor just told me I'm supposed to take my mask off in between every bite of food when I'm out at a restaurant. So I'm not really sure if to me, that's an overreaction. So I think the economy is in much better shape because of President Trump's leadership.
I see. Let me back up here, get a little view of your clothes here. You got that jacket on. It's a little hot right now for that,
the jacket will come out later. We'll be in full light later, but it's getting a little hot, and it's 100% polyester, so it doesn't really breathe.
So talk a little bit about the wall. I'm getting a few questions from the audience about saying, where's the wall? Has Mexico paid for it? So tell me about that.
Good questions. All right. Has Mexico paid for the wall? Indirectly, you could argue that they are right now. They've deployed tens of thousands of troops to the southern border to help interdict the flow of narcotics and human trafficking across the southern border. So they're making a real financial contribution to the effect of the wall. And I want to back up a little bit to say what I support about the wall. I support the wall for two main reasons, and they are to interdict human trafficking and reduce the amount of illicit narcotics that are smuggled across the border. My principal reason for supporting the wall has nothing to do with immigration. It has a small effect on illegal immigration, only in that it can help dissuade the entry of the people who would otherwise not be able to get in through a regular port of entry. And we're talking about people who have previously been deported, known criminals, things like that. And their only option now is to sneak across the border. They can no longer cross at a normal border crossing. So the border wall is being built. I mean, as I came out here, I drove by Campo, California. It was being built there. I actually wanted to go check it out, but you can't get on there because they've got all the access roads. It's a federal construction site. So it's being built. It's being built in the areas where it makes the most sense. And it's being built in a very intelligent way. If you look at, this is kind of a reflection on Trump's experience as a businessman. They built 8 original prototypes of walls in San Ysidro on Otay Mesa down in San Diego. The eventual one that they've actually started installing is not one of those 8, because after evaluation they found something that felt that they could get up faster, that would be less expensive, and would be equally as functional, and actually better in some cases because you can see through. And that's the concrete foundation with the slatted poles. They're full of concrete, and they've got the solid top. So the wall is being built despite the obstruction of the Democrats, despite the obstruction of people within the Republican Party in the first 2 years of President Trump's campaign, of his administration, who were really blocking it, despite the distraction of the Russia collusion narrative, which really hamstrung his campaign officially. I think he's done an incredible job of locating and sourcing the funds to get the work done, to get it paid for, and of shepherding the issues that are legitimate issues in some cases, environmental issues in some cases. There are certain areas where the wall is planned that do have an environmental impact that needs to be looked at. But I think the wall, absolutely, it's being built. I mean, it's out there, and it's effective, and it's reduced border crossings.
All right. Thank you so much for talking with me.
No problem.
All right. All right. I'm here at a Vice President Pence rally in Peoria, Arizona. It's a suburb of Phoenix. And I'm going to walk through the line here so you can see how many people are out here. It's pretty hot. So some people are moving along the wall to stay cool. All right. All right, here we go. All right, we got more people up here on the walls. I'm on a Facebook Live. Does anyone want to talk about the rally, Trump? All right. All right. What's your name, man?
Dave Hobrath, and I'm from El Mirage. And I got to tell you, Pence stuck the landing last night. He stuck the landing last night. Pence was awesome in the debate. Look forward to seeing him. Glad Trump's out of the hospital, and we're happy to support him through his vice president today. We love Mike Pence.
Absolutely.
We love this guy from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. That guy's got a testimony. That guy's rock solid. He's going to be next. Pence will be next. Just wait till that straitjacket's taken off of Pence in 4 years and watch what happens with this guy.
Amen.
That's right.
What do you think about Trump getting COVID? Do you think that that'll impact the election one way or the other?
No. That's like saying, I wonder what happened. Chuck Norris got a cold. Who cares? It don't matter. COVID what? Hold my beer. Let me handle COVID. Trump knows what to do. You got to be careful. You got to take care of yourself. But, we're Americans. We're not going to live in fear. We're sick of being told, keep us safe, and we'll keep ourselves safe. We know what to do. I have my mask. Does Pelosi want one of these? I'll send Schumer 2 of them because he's got a big mouth. Always up there. Everything Trump does. If Trump cured cancer, they would complain about that. If he cured AIDS, they'd complain about all the AIDS doctor being out of business. I'm sick of it. We're all fed up with it. The more you hate Trump, the more of us going to vote for him. We're tired of it. He's sticking up for us. We're going to stick up for him. Boom.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Right on.
What Facebook page were you
I'm on, it's a website called Haps News. I'm a freelancer, but I'm doing a few live shots for, it goes to YouTube, it goes to Facebook, Twitter, stuff like that. So you want to talk a little bit? You good? Okay, cool. Okay.
I'm way better than looking.
All right. You want to talk a little bit? Oh, okay.
How would we find it on YouTube?
Let's see here. Let me give you my business card. If you go to my Twitter, you'll be able to see it. So it'll be on there. There you go.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
You're not even going there.
All right, sorry about that. So I'm here at the Vice President Pence rally in Peoria, Arizona. It's a suburb of Phoenix, and I'm talking to people in line here for the event. It's pretty hot out today. I'm going to take a break here, let my phone cool off. It's probably going to start overheating here pretty soon. But does anyone have any questions right now about what's going on? All right, I'll switch it around here so you can see the line. And I'll zoom in. All right, I'll do a panning shot here so you can see the full. So we have some people selling some shirts, some hats. There's plenty of merch at these kinds of events. People bring their tents. All right, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, think of some. I'll probably be back here within the next few hours. Got some other camera work to take care of. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.